Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode 69. We are going to talk about something that I can barely even pronounce today. We're going to talk about the Olivet Discourse. This is on Tuesday of the Great Week, and Jesus is going to give an eschatological discourse about the end times. That's the big fancy word that means the end times, and we're curious about that. So I'm going to title this Waiting for the One with the One. Waiting for the One with the One. And we're going to talk about who we're going to wait for and how are we supposed to wait. The disciples and Jesus are leaving Jerusalem. They're at the Mount of Olives, which is right across the valley from the temple and the Temple Mount, and they can see that, and they're on their way back to Bethany where they're spending the night, and he gives a long, detailed teaching, which we're going to discuss over the next couple of days. The disciples want to know when, they want to know how, and Jesus talks about a near destruction, that is the destruction of Jerusalem, and then a far destruction, which is his second coming. It's going to be a time of destruction, of world woe, of deception, and some specific Christian woes as well. That's kind of on the bad news side. But on the good news, he says, be ready, be settled, be enduring. Things are going to be the same with me. It's a very assuring, even though there's a lot of noise in this passage, there's a lot to be assured of. This is from Luke 21. It's in 3 of the Gospels. I'm going to read it in Luke 21. Verse 5, and while some were speaking of the temple, how it was adorned with noble stones and offerings, there's a stone in the temple that weighs 1.1 million pounds. So I think that's what they're talking about. As for these things that you see, the days will come when there will not be left here one stone upon another that will not be thrown down. And they asked him, the disciples, Teacher, when will these things be, and what will be the sign when these things are about to take place? And he said, see that you're not led astray, for many will come in my name, saying, I am he, and the time is at hand. Do not go after them. And when you hear of wars and tumults, don't be afraid, don't be terrified, for these things must first take place, but the end will not be at once. Then he said to them, nation will rise against nation, kingdom will rise against kingdom. There will be great earthquakes in various places, famines and pestilences. And there will be terrors and great signs from heaven. But before all this, they will lay hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and prisons, and you will be brought before kings and governors for my name's sake. This will be your opportunity to bear witness. Settle it, therefore, in your minds not to meditate beforehand how to answer, for I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which none of your adversaries will be able to withstand. Unwithstandable wisdom. Verse 16, you will be delivered up, even by parents and brothers and relatives and friends, and some of you they will put to death, and you will be hated by all for my name's sake. But not a hair of your head will perish. By your endurance, you will gain your lives. So there's a lot of noise here. There's a lot of bad things happen. It's a time of great woe for the world, clearly, and it's time of woe for Christians as well. But let's see beyond all this. If you live long enough to see this, is there's going to be a special presence for the Lord. The Christians are going to be persecuted. They're going to be turned over by people that have, even relatives, parents, brothers, relatives. But he's going to give us his presence. That's the real thing. Jesus gives what would be very bad advice to a preacher of the word or even a podcaster today, which he says, settle it in your mind not to meditate beforehand on how to answer. That is not to wonder, not to prepare. Just wing it. Why? Because I'm going to give you a special dispensation of my spirit. I will give you a mouth. I will give you wisdom, and nobody is going to be able to speak against it. That would be bad advice for a preacher, but for the time, it's going to be very, very special. So hear this, I think, in this crazy time, is there's this preservation of this tender relationship, this intimate relationship of Christ with his people, with Christ and his witnesses. So they may kill you, they may persecute you, they may take you before authorities for my name's sakes, but you're going to have an opportunity. You're going to have a special opportunity, and you're going to have a special prayer presence. And then in the end, they may kill you, but then on the other hand, not a hair of your head will perish. You're going to live forever. Your job is to endure to the end, to witness, and bear in mind, let's think about these things now, because some endurance is going to be required, some perseverance. But the cool thing about it is the presence is that you're going to get in a special way. So in conclusion, don't be deceived. When Jesus comes back, there's no one's going to have to tell you, hey, I'm he. Everybody's going to know. It's going to be sudden, and it's going to be universal. So anybody says I'm the Christ, pretty much you can rule that person out. Then he also says, don't be rattled. Even though all this crazy stuff is going to happen in the world and the crazy stuff against Christians, don't be rattled and don't be surprised. I'm telling you this stuff now. And there's going to be temptation to even be terrified. Don't be terrified. And don't be led astray. So he's saying don't be this, but on the other hand, be ready. Be ready for this. I'm telling you this now. Be settled. In a sense, there's nothing to worry about. He says, not a hair of your head is going to perish. Be enduring to the end. Even flourishing. I'm thinking this may be a special time of intimacy that the Lord gives. I'm going to give you a mouth and wisdom, and no one is going to be able to withstand it. You're going to have unwithstandable wisdom. So be assured. So as I see us waiting for the return of Christ, which is going to come suddenly and universally, as we wait for the one, we get to wait with the one. That's the cool thing about this. So nothing changes about Christianity. You still have the Holy Spirit. He's still present with you. There's going to be some more noise. And in a sense, I think it's going to get better. So I think we actually get to wait for the one, that is Jesus' return, with the one.